client attraction. What is it and why do you need it to be successful in business? We are going to get into all of the juicy details on why you should be focusing in on that client relationship and client attraction to grow and scale what it is that you are doing. I am Ashley Nicole Edmiston, and we are going to dive deep into the law of client attraction today. You guys, this is a 3-part series, a free masterclass that I have put together for you all to be able to really zone in on what it means to be a master attractor. Okay, I know that sounds cheesy. I'm gonna give you a little bit of a backstory on me, just so you know who I am, where I'm from, what I've done, and why you should take and apply some of these simple tips that I'm gonna give you in this free masterclass to help your business soar. So first things first, why do I feel that I'm credible to give you this information, and why should you be open ears to all this info and hopefully use some of it and apply it into your business? Well, I've been in the social selling arena for 8 years, you guys. 8 years, not only have I built 1, but 2, but 3 multi-million-dollar social selling teams on Instagram, on Facebook. Not 1, but 2, but 3 times have I done that. And I've also built 2 massive 6-figure producing brick and mortar businesses that have continued to build and double revenue over the years. And so with that being said, I've kind of walked a couple blocks. I've learned the hard way. I'm giving you some of the tips and the tools that I wish that I knew in the very beginning. I wish that someone would have told me some of these shortcuts. I wish I would have known that some of these simple things that we can do every single day as we operate in our businesses in the social world, these little tools that I could have used that could have scaled me milestones, light years ahead. I wish that I had them at my fingertips like I'm giving to you guys right now. So first off, thank you so much for joining this free masterclass. I cannot wait to spend the next 3 videos with you. So let's dive right in. Okay, so number 1, you're probably wondering, why do you need to worry about client attraction? Can't you just post on social media, think of a great product, maybe start a great business, and with hopes of just posting and people just jumping right into your inbox, your DM, right onto your website and buying everything that you have? Well, at one point, way back when, maybe when the video features and that social selling aspect of things really popped off on social media, what was it, like 10 years ago? Maybe then, maybe 5 years ago, that could have been easy for you. But now, these days, it is completely different, completely different. I want you to think back of times that you've been on either Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and you saw something that spoke to you, right? And you instantly went to cart and purchased because you wanted it. That is the type of connection that you want for your business and your product. And we're gonna talk about and break down how and why certain things work and how some things don't work. And we're gonna help you avoid all of that. So it's really important for you to know that client attraction is it's basically everything in your business. The way that you connect with your ideal client, the way that you speak to them, the way that you provide customer service to them, the way that they interact with you, and the way that their purchasing experience goes, the way that all of that really breaks down really will make or break an experience, which will lead to a second experience, okay? So we're gonna start off with that first initial attraction. There are some very important steps that you need to know as you're launching a brand, or you're mid-brand right now, or you're looking to rebrand. You have to have a story. So today we're gonna focus on the story, and we're gonna focus on the purpose of your story and how it will play into attracting that ideal client. So whatever your business is, whether it's a brick and mortar store, whether it is a physical item that you're selling, whether you're hustling for another company like an MLM or a social, retail type of platform, your story means everything. If you've not heard of Simon Sinek, and if you have not read any of his books, you absolutely should be going onto Amazon right now and getting his books. You guys, I've read them numerous times. They're life-changing. He really hones in on the fact that people buy people, they do not buy products. Yes, the product might have been the thing that attracted them to your site, whether they're looking for a specific item or a specific type of thing or an experience or a digital product or whatever it is that you have. People do not buy products, they buy people. So if you were to put a pear and an apple next to each other, apple just stands on his own, he's great, he's shiny, he's pretty, but you put a pear next to it and it's like, okay, well, it's not really that season, they're not really that great right now, but the pear has told you their story. The pear is explaining where they come from, where they've been, why they're building this product, why they're doing X, Y, and Z, where their proceeds go to, where they're donating, how they're looking to impact the world, make a difference, make an imprint, make a landmark. You do see the difference? The pear is going to really pull in an attraction with you versus the apple. That's how simple it is. Okay, so you're probably wondering like, all right, I get it, pears, apples. What does that mean for me? What does that mean? How am I going to take that information? How am I going to really apply it to what it is that I'm doing to see some success? So the first question that I need you to ask yourself tonight as we talk about this number one step of attraction is, what is your story? I want you to get a pen and paper and I want you to write down 5 things that really apply to who you want your brand to be. Who do you want to be? Okay, so I will use one of my brick and mortar businesses, Covet Beauty. It is a luxury salon and spa, med spa in Whitefish, Montana, which is a town that I live in. And I'm gonna use this brick and mortar as my guinea pig for you guys tonight, so you can kind of walk through this with me. 5 things that you want to be represented by. Like when they think of you, and when anyone thinks of you or your brand or your product, your business, what do you want them to say? What do you want them to feel? So for Covet, I want them to feel like they are welcome. I want them to feel like they belong. These are my clients, right? I want them to be encouraged. I want them to feel beautiful. I want them to literally walk into our space and not only feel the 5 senses, the way it smells, the way they, the way they see things, the way that they feel things, the way that they taste things. I want it to be a full experience when they walk into our doors. And not only when they walk in, when they walk out, that they literally tell every single person that they encounter over the next 24 hours that they were just there and they felt X, Y, and Z way. Because I'm looking to leave an imprint on them. I want them to have a full-fledged experience in everything that they do and everyone that they encounter when they enter in my store. That is my number one mission. And those are those 5 things are things that really, really matter to me when I have people look at our brand. So another thing that when they look at our brand, it's clean, it's crisp. There's a color scheme. There's a cohesiveness to it. There is a way that we use verbiage and we word things. There's a whole entire package, you guys. But that package will not move forward without a story. So when we talk about the story aspect of things, yes, we know my mission. Yes, I know what I want people to experience when they walk into my doors and when they leave and when they talk to others out in the world. But how am I going to connect people online? The way that I'm going to connect them online is by really being able to connect them with our story virtually to tell them who we are, what we do, and why we love what we do, and how you're going to feel when you come into our space. That is the importance of attraction. Not only can it be in person, but it can be digitally as well. So when I talk about you writing your 5 things down tonight, the 5 things that you really want to be known for, each of you are going to have different 5 things. You can literally run a business with your spouse, your significant other, have them sit right next to you and have them do the very same thing. Write the 5 things that you want your business to be known for. They're going to be completely different. We all view things so differently. So the important part behind this is when you write these 5 things down, I then want you to draw a big line in the middle of the paper, and I want you to literally do a check mark for each one that you actually have for your brand. Are these things that you need to work towards? Are there things that you're not able to check off because you haven't done it, you haven't figured it out, you haven't narrowed it down, you haven't created that niche? Okay, what are you doing that is gonna really set you apart? It's getting yourself in order with a plan to be able to check those off. And if you don't have them checked off right now, obviously you're watching this call, you wanna learn more about setting yourself up with client attraction, you need to set up a plan. And we're gonna get into video number 2 when we talk about how to dissect some of this stuff. Where do you implement those 5 things you really want to dive into and have your business be recognized for? There's so much that goes into it that we just don't see. And a lot of times, a lot of you are starting a business, you have a fresh idea, you have all these things you want to do. But in addition to doing all those things, not only are you running other businesses, you're working your normal job, you have kids, you have spouses, you have households you have to take care of. We have the everyday grind that we're literally, doing every day. And sometimes the things that seem to be so little can be very hard. And so when we look at how to attract a person, telling your story is going to be very important. It's probably one of the most important things that we're going to talk about in this class, okay? Well, in this free masterclass, which is just a short little snippet. I'm not going to take a ton of your time. I just want you to know that there is an easier way. And when you think about your story, I want to be able to help you incorporate it in every single aspect of your business. Because if you are not storytelling, you are not connecting, okay? And so if it really, really comes down to you sharing more than you're comfortable with, if it really comes down to that, sometimes you have to share a little bit more. Okay, so I'm also going to use another example right now. I'm really, really fond of using examples because it helps people understand different scenarios and how different things can apply to different people. So say you have a physical product that you're trying to sell, right? You're a newer business, you're launching yourself online, you have a physical product to sell, and you need to figure out how to incorporate your story for this physical product, okay? So I'm going to use this cup as an example. Everyone knows that this cup is the most coveted cup on the flippin' internet right now, right? Everyone knows about Stanley. They're an old school brand. It's actually like a camping gear brand. Everyone knows about Stanley, but somehow they were able to market themselves in a way that they got into that like influencer, like blogger realm of things. And these literally sell out the moment that they go back in stock. Why? It's a regular cup. It's a cup that keeps your ice warm or cold. It has a straw. Like, it's a cup. They're everywhere. You can get them at every store. Why is this one the one? Do you know why? Because they have a story. They have a connection. They've connected with the right people to get the message across that this is the one, this is the cup you want to have, right? Everyone who's anyone has a Stanley cup. It is their messaging and their story, and it's so consistent, and they put so much effort into it that it is just working on its own, and it is selling out day by day, hour by hour. Okay, so let's put this into a hypothetical situation. Say you just launched a t-shirt brand, right? You're putting fun prints on them. It's your custom designs. You have the whole shebang going. You throw them up on Etsy or you throw them up on the Instagram shop. You create a Shopify website and you're going for it. You launch it, you post it, and literally no one buys anything. Why is that? Because you didn't connect yourself to the product. There's a bazillion t-shirts that people can buy all over the internet. Why are they going to buy yours? Why are they going to connect with you? And this is one thing that people really forget as they start to think of these great business models and these great business ideas. They forget that they need to actually connect with their audience, and they need to let them know what their story is. They need to continually share it every single day so people are invested in you versus invested in just buying a t-shirt off of social media, if that makes sense. So when you talk about sharing your story, here are 3 ways that you're going to be able to share your story. 3 ways. Number 1 is by you authentically bringing yourself into the brand. Who? Number 1. Who is this brand about? Is it about you or is it about the people? Who? Let's talk about the t-shirts again. Who is this brand about? Are you looking to, you work out and you're in the fitness realm? Who is it? Is it a person like you? Is it a fitness shirt? Is it a flannel? Is it a concealed carry type of shirt? Is it a tank top? Is it a boating shirt? Who's the ideal person? Who's the person that's going to buy this? Who's the person that's going to wear it? And if that ideal clientele is the person that's going to buy wear, then you have to make sure that your story and your brand reflects that. Okay? When is the timeline? Share is who, what, when, right? When is the timeline? When are you going to be putting stuff out? Do you have drops coming out? Do you have a timeline on when people can expect things? The what? What is the actual item? Is it t-shirts? Are you gonna expand into more things? Why are you doing it? What is the brand about? All of these things, the who, what, where, when, why. Like you could play with these, you could put them in different orders, but you have to be able to explain within your story what you're doing. You can't just post a picture of an item online. People are not going to resonate with that. They're not gonna connect with that. So instead of you posting a picture and being like, for sale, how about you hold the shirt up and you talk about it? You talk about the way that it's stitched. You talk about the imprinted tags on the inside. You talk about the fact that you chose screen printing versus, the other melting kind. Like, I don't know, I don't make t-shirts, but you know what I mean? Like, you spend some time sharing what it is. You show the product physically on yourself. You show the product on your closest 5 friends. This stuff matters because you're telling a story. You're letting people in on what it is that you're doing and why you're doing it and who you're doing it with. You know what I mean? That's the difference. So today's first call, we focused on the 5 things you want to be known for in your business. And I know that might seem a lot. You might write them down, you might scratch them out and start again. I hope you do. I hope you really think deep about it because you deserve to get to that next level of how you're actually going to tell your story and what it means to actually connect with people. So in this 3-video masterclass, today we're talking about story and the way that you're gonna story tell. We're gonna get into not only implementing the storytelling, the way that you should talk with people, the way that you can connect with your ideal client, the follow-up, right? The actual sealing of the deal, right? There's a lot of things that go into client attraction. And there's also one of the most important, which is gonna be on day number 3, is the customer service aspect of things. When a purchase happens and that client connection does happen, there's so much more after that connection. There's a relationship to be held. There's a relationship to maintain because you can continually grow and scale based off of that. Because if your ideal client that you have attracted into your world loves their experience, they're gonna go tell their 5 favorite people. And that is the way that you have explosive growth. It all starts with your story and what your product means to you and what it should mean to them. Simon Sinek said it best: people buy people, they don't buy products. I'm so thankful and so excited to be doing this with you all. I can't wait to see you in the next video.